I don't wish even my enemy to experience some kind of sickness, because you will become a dumping ground, in the sense that
Mm,
everybody will tell you many things. We're even saying that this she's young now. How did she came across this? When we got there, we saw somebody. I saw a baby. I saw a child or a guy in primary school. First symptoms that was visible that I discovered was that very day I came back home. 6 months. That was June. So I came back home, June 2022. I came back home and she wanted to serve me food and she just fainted.
in December, my guest got married, but he never knew that 6 months after his marriage, he would be on a very long journey. Now, this journey sadly took his wife away from him. In 2023, Mr. Olasukomi lost his dear wife. My guest is Mr. Olasukomi Akapo. He's an IT specialist, and he joins me today on this is it podcast or my story session to talk to us about his experience, about his lovely wife. May her soul rest in peace. What he saw, what were the challenges, and what we need to know. In honor of his wife, he also started a foundation. So I want you to pay attention to my guest who will be coming up very shortly to share with us the story about his wife and his journey with kidney disease, because a lot of people are not even aware that kidney disease can actually take their life. So I want you to sit back, relax, listen to my guest as he shares with us stories that you don't want to experience.
The Dr. Frederick, thank you so much for having me to be. It's a privilege to be in this program. Thank you so much for hearing my side of the story.
Yeah.
My wife, whose name was Oluwafumilayo. She's a person with a pure heart and a pure soul. As in, even on her sick bed, as in, she's the kind of person that while she was even on her sick bed, she was giving us hope. Those of us that were even taking care of her, that don't worry. Me, she always say, there's a word she always says. She always say, me, I don't have anything I'm thinking, no. And she was having a lot of pains. She's a strong person. In short, she's a strong person, stronger than even men. So despite everything that she passed through, she was holding on until the last breath. Until the end of her life, she hold on unto God. So I remember her with just one word, a strong person. Well, just as you've said before, well, I met her in 2019, November, yes, November to be precise, 2019, November. That was where I met her. So, because I know I would like to just chip this in. Most people often, when you have a challenges, most people often think probably you did not go the God way. That's the reason why you are passing through this medical challenge. So I met her 2019 in the church. I prayed about it. It's not as if maybe somebody that I just met on the streets and we met like that. So I prayed about it and I personally had that she is mine and I went for it. So let me not just bore you with the story. So it's something that was God ordained. I still always tell people that no matter what might has happened, is God ordained, as in God chosen person for me. So I met her 2019. Then in 2021, after doing all the things we need to do, that is, the church activities like introducing to your pastors, your parents, and what have you, and they gave us the go ahead to get married by that December. As at that December, from that 2019 till that December 2021 that we got married, I never sensed, though we're not staying together, but for a while, like 2019 and 2020, she was staying somewhere closer to my place. So I still have access to see her often. So it was 2021, early 2021, that she traveled to their place in Ilorin. So, and she was doing fine. She was a strong person. So when the sickness started, that's why one of the major reasons why people were even tagging it as spiritual attack first, because somebody that was very strong and nothing, there was no visible symptoms. Though later on, I discovered I was able to mash the puzzle together. I discovered there were already a symptoms that we did not pay attention to, but because we don't have the experience before, so we're unable to really pinpoint that that is a symptoms that could be relating to what eventually killed her, that which is the kidney dis- disease. So we got married in that 2021. Everything went on fine until 6 months. The first symptoms that was visible that I discovered was that very day I came back home. 6 months, that was June. So I came back home, June 2022. I came back home and she wanted to serve me food and she just fainted. To me and her, we were even thinking that praise God, or maybe it's pregnancy, or that God has answered us. And immediately the second day after she fainted, I took her to the primary health center. They just did some tests, random tests, and said typhoid, malaria, and they treated that. They said the typhoid is chronic, so we treated that for a while. She was not feeling okay. So by July, I need to approach a lab. One of my cousin who happens to have a lab, so I went to him. So he ran a lot of series of tests on her. So that was the first time we'll be discovering that she has that problem. So when the lab scientist, who also happens to be my cousin, told me, my wife was like, God forbid that, no, what was that? When it's not as if she was sick before. And to cut the story short, since that day, as in after approaching that lab, from that day like this, we didn't end up going back home. It was from that lab that my cousin told me that we can't go home like this. That what he's saying is not something that we need to go. We need to approach a hospital. So we went to hospital, private hospital. They treated her for a while and they referred us to general hospital. And that was how the journey just started, from general hospital to another federal hospital for a while. Okay, all right. The symptoms. Immediately we got married. Well, when because we got married in a lorry, that's where our family stays. So we got married. We got back to Lagos. Oh no, Ota to be precise. I stay in Ota, Ogun State. So when we got to Ota, Ogun State, I realized that whenever she wants to go to toilets, she always feel as in it's always very hard for her to how will I put it? I don't know if to poo poo, so to speak. Defecate, yes. So it's always very hard for her to defecate. So it's always very hard. But for her, when I noticed it, I asked her what's wrong. She said probably because that she has this issue that whenever she change environment, it's always very to get used to a new toilet. So maybe probably that's what is doing her. But later on, we discovered that it was the kidney that was already having issue. She was not producing the system is no more working very fine. So it was hard for her to discharge and to defecate. So those are one of the symptoms that I can say that is a major one. Then there is a particular day that she was like she wanted to vomit. It was looking as if she wanted to vomit. So, but the vomiting was not really coming, as if he was having a short breath and trying to vomit. Because later on, when she was diagnosed, those things were happening as well. So we now discovered that, oh, this thing as well is are symptoms of having kidney issue. Though one thing about kidney is, so it's some kind of how will I put it, camouflage. It has some camouflage symptoms. The symptoms relate to some other symptoms for another sickness. So you can't say because somebody is not defecating now that it's kidney disease. No, that's one thing I discovered. It is only by medical checkup by medical checkup. And you can do that by approaching a medical practitioner, that is a doctor, which the doctor will hear you out and maybe refer you to a lab for a particular test. Because one thing I discover about it is about the symptoms of kidney is that they are always relating. The symptoms are related to some other symptoms like back pain now. Many people have back pains, and you can't say because you're having back pain is kidney disease, and you can't say because you're having back pain it could not be kidney disease. So those are the things that we discovered before we officially she was officially diagnosed of the kidney disease. Actually, I wouldn't say because it was instantly we discovered that we never for once waited. So we took out the best thing because we were thinking it's pregnancy before. That's why we approached private health center. And
Yes.
immediately we treated, she finished the dosage of the drugs prescribed for her, and we did not see any changes.
Improve.
We quickly
Yeah.
took the action. But the only thing I will say, because the story I was saying, after getting to Federal Medical Center in Abeokuta, and they treated her and they told us that they still said there's kidney diseases and she's going to be under dialysis. She's going to be how will I be running a session of dialysis to sustain her for a while until we could able to raise money for kidney transplants. She was even saying God forbid. She was still saying God forbid. Me personally, I happens to be a practical person. When one or two medical practitioners have said this, I've already concluded my mind that it could be this. So let's just do whatever they want us to do. So one thing I would say that we should have done, though it's not as if it's going to probably refer the something back, maybe reverse it because it has already been there. It has already been there. But immediately we discovered that, and our family came to meet us at the hospital. So they were like, this one is beyond medical, it's spiritual stuff. Oh, they need to go and pray. Oh. So they were like, they need to take her to their place in Ilorin. So when we got there, no, they called the medical practitioner, their personal doctor as well. That one said the same thing that this is kidney disease. And they were like, "Ah, okay, it is real." They still don't want to accept. So when we got to Ilorin, their family was only praying. They said that we should this spiritual attack, we should pray. This. We just got married. I have little say because that thing is very dicey. If I say they should not pray, we should do this, they might say I'm the one that caused this, family issue stuff. So I allowed them to. It's their daughter. We just got married, so they said they want to pray. So one thing I discovered, if we had, because during the process of them trying to say we should pray, they should go to mountain, the leg started swelling up. The leg was not that swollen before. That means the water, the edema, I think they call it edema, or yes, the
Ma,
water retention. Yes, the water retention was now getting much. All our body was getting swollen. For me, I believe if we had quickly taken the action of doing the dialysis, in which we know that dialysis is not a permanent cure. It's not a cure for it, but at least it's going to for a while. So though even though we know that the dialysis is not a cure, but at least for me then I believe if because we waited they she waited for some months. I can't remember the particular month, maybe 2 to 3 months. Them doing the spiritual like okay, let's go to mountain, let's pray, let's approach this. And I believe for them too, because it's something that has not happened, probably happened to them before. So it's strange to them. So I wouldn't blame them as well. So during that time, the body was swollen. So for me, I believe if we had immediately they told us when we were still in Ogun State that this is the problem, and we quickly started medications and the things we need to do. Probably the something should have probably at least sustained our life for a while, pending the time we raise money. But the best bet I would say is if they ask me now that what should I have done is to be going for regular checkup even before you start seeing anything. Even if you are not having anything or anything, she will always go to for medical checkup. So that's what I would have done.
Yeah. Hmm. Medical checkup. You have taken your loved one through the process of dialysis treatment for kidney failure. What was it like? How many times in a week were you going for the dialysis? What were the challenges you faced?
Wow. Firstly, is an experience that I wouldn't want anybody to really pass through. And the only way somebody can maybe probably boycott that is just to make sure we develop the habit of, at worst, I do tell people now that at least once in a while, use it as a birthday treat for yourself. Maybe every of your birthday, always go for medical checkup. Once in a year, at worst, general checkup. But the experience is something that is bad. Firstly, to even like in Ogun State, the reason in our local government there was no dialysis machine. That's the reason why they referred us to Abeokuta. Abeokuta is far from the Ogun State. I mean, the local government I am is still the same Ogun State, but the local government where we are
Which
is a
one
far distance.
local government is that?
Adodota local government. Adodota local government. So there was no dialysis machine there. So that's the reason why they referred us to Abeokuta. Abeokuta is far away from Adodota local government. Then on getting to Abeokuta as well, we have a lot of patients. That was when I discovered that this case is not something that is maybe probably few. We saw tons of people. We're even saying that this my wife, she was 30 years old when we discovered the illness, this something. She was diagnosed 30 years old. So we're even saying that this she's young now. How did she came across this? When we got there, we saw somebody. I saw a baby. I saw a child or a guy in primary school having that disease. So we saw a lot of people queuing. We were queuing for the machine. You get it? So though eventually we didn't go for the session in Abeokuta. So we eventually ended up in Ilorin. So when they've done their own spiritual aspect, like going to church, and they discovered that no hope. So we ended up in Ilorin State Hospital as well. They have the machine there. Their machine happens to be new one there. So they have machines there. Though we still have a lot of patients more than the machines as well. So the experience is bad. And for that, let me just quickly ship this in. There is a need for the government to look into that sector. Is one of the things that we have in mind for this awareness, for this foundation. Apart from the awareness, we want to get the government's attention that this thing, as in there's a need to declare a state of emergency, to be sincere, for internal diseases, something like diabetes, hypertension. Those things could lead to kidney diseases. All those things are on the high rise now. There's a need to declare state of emergency for it. Because when we got to that along, a lot of people too were having, and we were having the dialysis. We started with 3 times in a week. She was having it 3 times a week: Monday, Wednesday, Friday. She was having 3 times a week, and the money is not easy. It's not easy. The money is raising money every week, and that's just for the dialysis. Is she's going to collect blood transfusion. Sometimes we get it got to a level. Everybody around us has donated blood. It's got to a level. People cannot donate blood for us. Somebody that you've gotten today, come and donate your blood. I am very sure that many people will be running away from us when it got to a point, because everybody were donating blood. So it got to a level where we're not seeing people to donate blood. So we were buying bloods, medications. Later on, when we're not getting much money, we're doing it twice a week. There were many times that we did once in a week. And during that
Because
time,
of
because of money, because we were unable to, we spent a lot. And dialysis cost, though it depends on the area, it depends on where you are. The cost of session of a dialysis, I don't know if I'm allowed to say the price. It depends on where you are, but it ranges uh, from maybe we started with maybe I think we started with when we got there we started with 35,000. Later on, we ended up paying 50,000 per session dialysis machine in that place, because it's even a public hospital. They ended up paying 50,000 for a session, and some other things you paid for. You know, government hospital, you pay for this, you pay for that, you pay for this. So that's the reason why government needs to interfere to contribute to it. Then we will also have limited medical personnel. All the nurses, the doctors we met, they are so few. We're just so lucky that in that hospital they have a consultant and is a specialist is a nephrologist. She's a nephrologist that has been practicing for like 20 years, more than 20 years. So we're so fortunate. So she took our case personal, and likewise everyone that has that kidney disease as well. Yeah, the person's name. She is Doctor Ibiemi. Doctor Ibiemi. She's a consultant in Ilorin State Hospital. She's so committed to her work. To be sincere, she has no reason to do some things that she did for us. There are many things she did beyond what she's supposed to do as a doctor. There are many times that probably she only supposed to be there at the hospital Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and many times she will come from Monday to Friday. Sometimes she did a lot of things. She did. Even when I started this foundation, one of the reasons why I started the foundation like a week after my wife died. I know many people were even saying that why did I started it that early? But it was something that my wife said before she died. She said if she had known about this disease or how it happens and everything, the symptoms or things that could cause it, if she had known about it, she would probably might have been saved before. And she wished people around her, people in the world, to know before it happens to them. Not that it happens to them, because when it happens, most of the time, if you don't have the money for transplants, it's
Mm,
always stressful and the experience is not. So she told me that I should make sure we start this. She did not say that she's going to die before, because even till her last breath, she was having faith. But she said, I need to start this foundation, but I didn't do anything about it. I was only using mouth to tell people around us that care to listen that this thing or these are the things they said are the causes. So this. But when she died, I hold on to her faith. I hold on to her strength, not my own strength, and I decided that no matter what I'm passing through, I'm going to do a last wish, which is for others to know about this thing before it
mm.
happens to them.
Well, to
So
them.
that's why I started the foundation.
Thank you so much.
So when we were at the course of the process, so the question that came to every one of us, our mind, that runs through our mind is what is the cause of these things? We need to know what are the causes, because she happens to be someone that is very strong. She doesn't fall sick. So on the long run, we discovered that diabetes is one of the causes. Diabetes, uncontrolled diabetes, high uncontrolled diabetes. It's not as if having it is a problem, but when you know on time and you take your drugs, you do the things you need to do, it's not an issue. But uncontrolled or undiscovered diabetes, number one, hypertension, hypertension as well. We discovered hypertension do cause it. Then we also discovered that some body painkillers, like all this Imbrucap. I think there's a particular term that the medical practitioner and NS, or I can't remember the name you people call. There's a general name for all those drugs, all those Imbrucap, Imbru something. So all those painkillers. So I will just tag
They
it
are
as
called
unprescribed
NSAIDs.
drugs. Okay.
NSAIDs.
Yes. So generally on prescribed drugs, any drugs you take by yourself without medical practitioner prescribing it for you, they are dangerous. Any drug, I say, because number one, the symptoms you might be seeing might be different, might not be what you think it is. So you taking a particular drug for something that is not is dangerous. So on prescribed drug without the medical practitioner prescribing it for you. And one of the danger in that is that even if a medical practitioner prescribe a drug for you, let's even assume that they prescribe a particular painkiller for you, and probably they wanted a medical practitioner will tell you the dosage, when to stop. But if you don't approach medical practitioner and you just buy it by yourself, you won't know when to stop. You won't know if you need to even stop. Maybe you need to buy more. So those are the reason why you need to always get in touch with doctors, medical practitioners. So then also I discovered that all these creams, there are some ingredients in some creams, especially all these bleaching creams. Yeah, all these bleaching creams. So it also affects the kidney as well. And some from there are some other cases. There are some other cases that but those are the general ones. Uncontrolled diabetes, hypertension, unprescribed or taking unprescribed drugs, then all these carbonated drinks. So all these carbonated drinks are not good for the kidney. They have impact on our kidney. But the reason why one thing about kidney is I discover is because the kidney has a lot of nephrons in it. It could take years before it finally break down. And you know we have two. So in that two we have a lot of nephrons. So it's just like a switch. So the switch will be destroying one after the other. So you might have done something dangerous to your kidney for a while and you won't see the impact at that particular time. But later on in time, you will discover it and you'll now be thinking, what causes this thing? It could be something that you have done in the past or you are doing continuously, something you've done in the past. So that's one thing I discovered about kidney, and that's the reason why you need to take lab test, medical checkup seriously. Then for my wife own, when they did a lot of tests, series of tests, it got to a level the doctor. That's why I said the doctor even went far to invite one of our senior. I think the person happens to be a professor. The person happens to be a lecturer when she was in school. So we need to book an appointment. The person stays in Lagos, though he also have his lab in Ilorin as well. So we need to book appointment for a while. The person needs to come to Ilorin because they were trying to discover the cause of her own. She did not have diabetes. She did not have hypertension. Though as soon as the kidney started, there's no hypertension, the BP will rise. So she started having high BP as soon as kidney the disease started. So they were trying to discover what is the cause, the origin of our own. So the only thing they were able to really pinpoint was that they said shrunken kidney, that one of it has probably right from birth, one of it has not been working right from birth, from childhood. So it's one that has been working using force to work. So when it got to a time that that one to got stressed up, so it packed off. So it started developing because that was the only thing they were able to tell us. So that's our own. But most of the people that we met there, all the patients, because it was just like a community. When you get to that place, you will see a lot of people having it. Their caregiver we talk with every one of us we talk, all the caregivers we talk to try to discover what causes your own, what causes your own, what causes your own. So many people that we see there, it was basically diabetes, uncontrolled hypertension, use unprescribed drugs. Those are the causes that we we were able the major causes that we see. But I saw many people that they gave birth to, like I saw a young guy that they gave birth to like that. So probably maybe I don't know, maybe there's something that he maybe probably got from her parents. I don't know, I can't say about that one. It's when they do a lot of deeper research on that they will be able to do that.
I know about the use of herbal medicine. People will tell you that, did you not take agbo? You were going to the hospital. if you had gone to native, you use herbs, herbal concussion, it would have worked for you. Not even knowing that medically, herbal concussion too can affect the kidney. Did you come across any comment like that? That why didn't you go to native and the rest?
Yes, I do say something now that I don't wish even my enemy to experience some kind of sickness, because you will become a dumping ground, in the sense that
Mm,
everybody will tell you many things. This one will tell you, they might even tell you to eat shit, you know. So, but a lot of people told us many things. Use this. Me personally, I knew that even apps, even if it works, it's not in a case, it's not in this case. What I discovered about apps is that in Nigeria, we did not do a lot of research on our apps to know the dosage. And what you don't know dosage about, you might use more than, and you won't know it will have an impact on your kidney. It do have impact on your kidney. But during that time, many people were telling us a lot of things. I just, I was helpless. Everybody just want to have their say. The family too, they want to have their say. Everybody, but so it won't be as if it's her husband though that did not allow them to use this or things like that. So they use a lot of things as well, apps they use after discovering the issue. But before then, my wife happens to be somebody that does not take drugs or anything. That was the one of the reasons why we were so amazed about it. She doesn't like taking drugs. She doesn't like taking anything. The least she takes, even if she wants to take vitamin C, at least something I've seen her taking before is vitamin C, and she will tell you that she cannot take white or it's colored one. So she's not kind of person that takes drugs. So she doesn't even take apps. But when she experienced that sickness, when you are passing through that, many people will tell you things and you are helpless. So they said, I will buy this from Oshogbo. You buy, there's one now in this, there's one this in that. We spent a lot of money, apart from the hospital aspects. We spent a lot of money. But it got to a level, I told the family, enough is enough. All these things we are doing is not working. Yes, they might work. Oh, I know it doesn't work, oh, but I just, just they might work before, but now this thing has happened. All these things are not, we are just wasting money. Everybody just want us. Yes, some people is because they care and they don't have knowledge of this thing. They don't. Well, that's one thing I discovered. People don't have knowledge of kidney disease because, number one, somebody that has kidney stone now, most of the time they can tell the person that the person should be taking enough of water. But do you know, if you have end stage kidney disease, they'll tell you to limit the water you take. So imagine when they tell somebody will tell you, I have somebody that has kidney. Yes, this is what the person took, and this and that, and this. I will ask them, what kind of kidney disease does this person has? Because after doing a lot of research and the I still thank God for the doctor, the nephrologist. She was able to explain a lot of things to me, to the family, and it helped us to now eventually come to terms and be on the same page. That is why I thank the doctor once again, Dr. Ibiemi. So she explained everything to us. She told us, gave us some lectures on different type of kidney diseases, how it moved from stage 1 to 2 to 3 till 5, and till end stage kidney, chronic kidney disease. He told us there is acute. So she explained a lot of things. I did my research. So we have different type of kidney disease. We have different kind. So you can't say because somebody is even having a kidney disease, the drug that the person is using, let me go and use. I don't need to approach hospital. If you do that, you will blame yourself. So the best is to approach a medical practitioner. Best, that's just the best. So I do tell people now, for now, our herbs doesn't work. It will do more damage. They are toxic, they are too toxic. It will do more damage. For now, maybe probably by the time the government starts empowering our scientists, our medical practitioners, and they started doing research more, because I know the Chinas now, the Asians, they have developed their herbs to a level that even the medical practitioner are using the two side by side. But for now, we've not done a lot of research to say we want to use it. We will do more damage to our body. Then let me just say this concerning the herb. During my process after the death of my wife, and I've started the awareness, many people are now opening up to me. Yeah, I realize many people have this problem, but because they don't know who to share with, or they believe this thing. So because you know me, we've posted our own on after we spend a lot of money, we sold many things and we don't have enough again. We need to go online. I started posting online. So I became famous for something bad, so to speak. A lot of people now knew me, so they were seeking for my opinion. Most of the time, I would direct them to medical practitioners. So I met somebody. So the person was complaining that he was having back pain, that he's having back pain, and he's this kind of person. They do take all this. In Yoruba, they call it opayin. They call it, all those they are the ABBA with drinks, all these. So he has been taking all those things, and there's something persisted. So I told him because it was during this experience I discovered that our kidney is not even. I always think our kidney is around this our stomach. So I discovered that kidney is somewhere at the back somewhere, though there's a specific position for it. The medical doctors will know that, but I knew that back, yeah, that's where your kidney is positioned. So I told him that I will advise you go to a hospital so that they will check this thing. Don't just depend on you taking this and this thing is not going. So he approached a hospital, then they directed him to run a series of scans. So they discovered that he has cysts. I don't know if I got the cyst something. Maybe the kidney having some pus like this or something like. And that's
This
yes. So they discovered that he has, but he's still at how will I put it? He's still eh?
mild, mild.
Yes, mild. Yeah, there's something is still mild. So when they discover it, they just prescribe particular things to use for him, and it's okay now. Imagine that the person did not approach hospital, a medical practitioner, and go for the medical checkup. He will just be using the opine that the herbs, the concussion, and eventually that will lead to something bigger than that. It will lead to now the kidney packing off, and many people will end up saying it's spiritual attack. It's somebody that is doing you. It's somebody that is shooting you like
Let
that.
me ask
Um, when she was having the problem, we discovered that kidney, one of the function of the kidney is it regulates our blood. So when the kidney is having problem, you'll be having shortage of blood. There's a name for it. I think anemia or something like that. I can't say. The doctor, the medical ones will say that. So the blood reduces, your blood level reduces beyond normal. And if your blood reduces to a particular level, you are going to pack off even before your time. So we need to every time and the process whenever she's having the dialysis, that is an opportunity for them to pass the blood to her instead of doing it separately. So and the process of the dialysis is that it it does the function of the kidney temporarily. Like, okay, it's the blood, it takes the blood out, refine it, like purify the blood, then pass it back to your body. Even the process of doing that, the blood will reduce. And the one thing I realized that the medical practitioner, the particular level your blood gets to, that they won't want you to mount that machine. They won't. So if the blood has reduced, I can't remember the figure for now, but if the blood has reduced to a particular level, they won't, because you might even die on the machine. So if it has reduced, they will ask you to take the blood, go through blood transfusion. So they'll do it at the process of doing the dialysis as well. And we kept on doing that often and often, most of the time. At worst, once in a week. We're doing it once in a week. The blood transfusion.
once in a week. Now, the kidney is involved in blood production. Most people are not
Okay.
aware. It has a hormone. That hormone also tells your bone marrow to produce blood. So when the kidney fails, is no longer functioning, that hormone will not be there. And sometimes, or in most cases, the person can have low blood.
Wow. First, whosoever is passing through that now, I will just say that the best is Just rely on medical practitioners. That's number one. Rely, put your trust, yes, your trust in God, God using the medical practitioners. That's what I do tell people, because people will say God will do it, God will do it. I'll tell them, yes, God will not come down. God is the one that has given the medical practitioner the brain. So it's still God that is at work. So please rely on the judgment of your medical practitioners. That's number one. And take your drugs judiciously. Then the caregiver, one of the things that helped my wife, she should have died. She struggled for 1 year and some few months, like 1 year 2 months before she died, but she had the cares, all the love that she needed. Mostly I saw a lot of people that their spouses left those people because they develop that sickness. And if it be it husband will leave wife if it's the wife that is involved, and if it's the husband that is, you will see the wife leaving the, that will make them to die on time even before their deaths, before solution could come. And it's not, when you have this problem, it's not a death sentence. It's a matter of just knowing what to do and finding solution to it on time. Like, okay, knowing that, okay, I need to do kidney transplant, then trying to raise money to do the kidney transplant on time before. And please, all caregivers, please love those people that are sick. Stay with them. They need love so much. That's what helped my wife. If love alone could help my wife, I'm very sure that she will stay more than this. She had the love that she needed. She had everything, but we were unable to raise the money that we needed. She needed up to 20 million. So, and you know, dialysis, as you are raising money, you are using it to do dialysis. So it's just like you are pouring water inside baskets. So, but the best advice I'll give to people is prevention is better than cure. I met somebody as well that did the kidney transplants, and he eventually died. And I think one of the reasons, because the doctor for told us something. He said the best kidney that could be used, donor, is somebody related by blood. That so that your body will not be fighting the some that he said the best. I don't know. He said the best is somebody related by blood. Most people just go and find anyway. I know the medical practitioners will still do their due diligence and try to do some tests to it. So the best is just trust your medical practitioners and follow whatsoever they want you to do. And prevention is better than cure. Please take your medical checkup serious. The worst once in a year. That is the general one. But for doing BP and something you can do that one once in a month. It doesn't cost more than 1,000 naira. I mean, all those diabetes and hypertension, BP checkup. You can even have the machine at home. It's not costly now. You can have the machine at home and do that one regular. Those ones are regulars. So the general one you can do it at worst once in a year. If you are thinking that there's no more, you know Nigeria is worst now, so to speak. Nigeria is bad to even eat. But one thing I realize is, you see that money that you said you cannot spend, you will spend more than it if you fall sick to some. There are some sickness that happens that you will spend more than it. People around you will even spend. So why can't you just avoid that by just doing your due diligence? Eat well, like Pastor Dr. Fredostar do say that take your fruits, take a lot of water, exercise, then always approach your medical doctor for your health. Take your health serious. So that's my parting word.
In case you are watching us and you have a story to tell, you also want to share your story like Mr. Olasukomi. You have a story, a medical story that happened to you or your loved one that you want to share so that people would hear you and be informed. Because according to what he said, a lot of people are not even aware, despite what we are doing, talking on radio, on TV, on social media. A lot of people are not still aware. So, in case you want to share your story, hit me up, let me know, and we'll have a session just like I have here with Mr. Lasukomi. Can you please tell us about your foundation, the one you named after your wife, and what have you been doing?
Okay, the foundation is basically awareness about the kidney disease, because we discovered that is the first thing people needs to know about this thing. awareness about it. Many don't know about it. So, and I've been doing the awareness by listening to people like Dr. Fredostar, gather informations, then post it online for people to know about. We have a WhatsApp platform whereby people joined, and I post links. Anything I see online that I know that I've confirmed that this person is a medical practitioner, I post their link on that platform for them to know about it. So that's what we have in it. But the long run, what we have in mind, what the plan I have in mind is that I want to get to a level at which we are going to be raising money, and we are going to approach hospitals, pay for people's dialysis, pay for their blood transfusion, because I remember what we too passed through. There were a particular time that we won't have money and we'll be crying, all of us will be shedding tears, seeing our passing through that pain. So we believe that if people know about this thing, that there's even something like this they can give and pay for their dialysis and transfusion. Then and also the third one, that we want to call the attention of the government. They need to take care of the medical practitioner. I put myself in their shoe as well. You see just one doctor attending to many wards, and all these doctors have their own special, they are specialists in a particular field. Maybe probably is a nephrologist, but they want just that doctor to attend to someone that is having head problem, somebody that is having leg problem, someone that. So our government needs to know if they don't know. And even if they know, we need to continue ringing it. So one of the things we want to achieve is with that as well, is to call the attention of the government for them to make a lot of more inputs to the life of the medical practitioners and the hospitals. So that's it.
So you have heard his, and may her soul rest in peace. Your wonderful, beautiful wife. I also want to appreciate you, sir, for standing by your wife. I also want to appreciate the medical practitioners that took care of her and everyone who supported you. I want to say a very big thank you. And to anyone listening to us going through kidney challenge, with faith, we believe in miracles, with faith, together with the medical practitioner taking care of you, we believe that you will come out victorious. Any final words, sir?
I would just say, let us take our health serious. Like there's a say that take if you don't take your food as drug, you will eventually take your drug as food. So watch what you put in your mouth. Watch what you
Mm.
put in your mouth. They have impact on your health. And if you don't take those serious, take your food as if you are taking drugs, as in be mindful of what you take. But if you don't take it serious, you will end up having a sickness that you will need to now be taking a lot of drugs, and drugs will now become a food for you. So take your food as drug so that you won't take your drug as food.
So I want
All
to
right.
say thank you to Olasukom.
Thank you
Akapo,
so much.
thank you very much.
Thank you so much for every of your effort. So I know what you are doing cost a lot, but I so much I can't quantify how thankful I am. But what we can do is just to propagate the gospel. I do share your link to many people as well for them to join as well. And I know God will help us all to help others. Thank you so much. I appreciate your efforts.
Thank you, Mr. Olasukom.